I'm not gonna lie, bringing water out of here, would have been so nice. But I'm already sat down and I don't want to get up and then go get water and then sit back down and then get back in the mode to talk. Listen. You want to change, but you suck at it. You suck. You're bad. You're not good at it. You need to get better. Listen, you want to change, but you keep failing. You want to start that new habit. What do you want to do? You want to do anything. You want to be cool, bro. What you want to be confident? What do you want to do? You want to what? You want to get that girl. You want to be more bold. You want to be more courageous. You want to read more books. You want to build better habits. You want to get the fuck up off that game. What do you want to do? You want to go outside more. You want to be somebody different, bro, but you can't seem to do it. It's because you can't change. Why can't you change? I'm going to tell you why you can't change. You can't change because you keep falling unconscious. And why do you keep falling unconscious? It's because you're a fucking dummy. It's because you're not even awake. It's because you're asleep. It's because you're an NPC. You're like everybody else. You try something, you get a wave of discomfort, you feel this wall of resistance. A chain of actions happen the minute that you try to engage in something that doesn't feel natural. And this chain of reactions, it's like one reaction leads to another, leads to you falling unconscious. Yo, thanks, I'm trying to record. Leads to you falling unconscious, and then when you fall unconscious, your unconscious programming takes over, and then you end up back where you were before. And then you're still the same person. And so this is the main cause of going unconscious. I'm jumping right into it. I'm giving you straight game. We're not playing around. Listen, the main cause of going unconscious is discomfort. But it's not really discomfort. It's what happens instinctually in the face of discomfort that you haven't learned to basically manage properly. So here's the loop. Pay attention. I'm going to run it down for you real quick. You want to change an addiction. You want to build a new habit. You want to build a new character. You want to do anything. You start engaging with this thing. Maybe in the beginning you're excited. Maybe in the beginning it's like motivation or whatever. Some time passes, but this isn't something that is supernatural to you. You might get a wave of resistance. You might get like a lack of motivation, because the motivation is probably what led you to engage to begin with, right? You might engage with it happily, whatever. One day you wake up, you're not feeling like it. There is a certain point where that big push, that big fuel runs out, and what happens is you get this resistance. The thing that you want to engage with now seems more like a task than something that was exciting like it was in the beginning. I'll put it like this. This is the perfect way to put it. That discomfort that you feel when it comes to behaving in that way, when it comes to picking up that book, when it comes to getting up and going to that gym, when it comes to doing any of that, that discomfort leads to an inner tension in the mind. That inner tension is going to lead to a tension in the body. That tension in the body is basically going to sustain you in this weird unconscious loop. Eventually, you're going to lose your presence of mind. You probably didn't have your presence of mind to begin with. That's why you fell into the discomfort. That's why you fell into the tension. That's why you fell into the resistance. And that's why you ended up not doing shit. That's why you ended up picking up the phone again. That's why you ended up going out to eat some bullshit again. That's why you ended up doing all that shit that you didn't want to do. You want to change, but you keep falling asleep. That's the main issue. You keep falling asleep. And why do you keep falling asleep? The main cause of going unconscious is that discomfort. But like I said earlier, it's not really the discomfort. It's the fact that you don't know how to manage it. You don't know how to stay conscious enough to spot that. You don't know how to stay conscious, watch that discomfort, relax your body, and engage with the task in a relaxed, playful, open-ended, and non-egotistic manner. What do I mean by non-egotistical? Oftentimes when we face a task, we want to do that task all the way through. We want to go to a gym and get the most insane workout. We think that in the beginning that we're going to do everything. We have this ego attached to a lot of the things that we want to do that sort of place this massive weight and expectation on us. When you're a beginner at something, when you want to change, when there's a direction that you want to go in, what you need to understand is you're at the beginning, and what is most important is that you are able to engage with the thing. If you want to read more, you need to drop the fucking ego. Open up the book and look at 3 words. Open up the book and look at 3 words, bro. It sounds ridiculous, but oftentimes most people cannot change because they are way too prideful to start where they need to. That's what I mean by engaging without ego. I've been reading nearly every day. Sometimes I'll literally pick up the book, open to a random page, and just stare at it. Sometimes I'll literally just hold the book in my hands. I'll have it in my presence. I'll just have it around me. I'll take the book, I'll go, I like having the book. I like having the book just because, bro. Sometimes when I want to get down and work, exercise, whatever it is, you make it more than what it has to be. Bro, get down on the floor face first and just push up once. And just sit there and you think about it, but you need to stay awake. If you want to be somebody who is like open and charming and sociable at work, you need to have the presence of consciousness to not fall asleep. Don't fall into the neuroticism. Don't fall into the tension of the body. What I'm trying to tell you here is there is a connection between your mind, your body, and your actions. And that is all predicated on your ability to stay conscious enough to watch the shifts in them and when they change. Because they change, right? So what I'm saying is this. You need to become conscious. You need to become conscious. You need to build this habit of becoming conscious in every day, in every moment, waking moment of every day. And you will notice, if you want to be something, if you want to change something, if you want to be somebody that's different, you have an unconscious mind and you have a conscious mind. This conscious mind is the mind that's trying to head in a very specific direction. But whenever you're not exercising this conscious mind, you're going to naturally, habitually react in the way that your unconscious mind has been programmed. And until you reprogram that through repetition and through affirmation and through all these different things, when you're not awake and when you're not watching it, you're going to just immediately drift into the old ways, right? So you need to become conscious. You need to watch that. You need to learn to to relax your body, because a tense body is going to produce tense mind. That's why a lot of anxious people, they have like chronic tensions in their bodies. They are just like super uncoordinated a lot of the times. And again, as a final note there, you need to not have the ego. Drop the fucking ego. Engage with what you want to do without the ego, because that ego is making you think that you can do more than you can. And maybe you can, but that pressure is not doing you any good. Engage with it lightly. When I tell you, bro, what do you want to do? You want to fast, bro? Don't overthink it, bro. Just start it. And then you're going to, like, for example, if your problem is you're trying to not do something instead of trying to do something, stay conscious, right? Your mind is going to want to, like, get you with these temptations and desires and all of that, and you're going to have a feeling well up inside you. Stay conscious, because the moment you fall asleep, that's going to possess you, and you're going to wake up having eaten 30 donuts, having beat your dick, having do all that fucking whack-ass monkey shit that you don't want to do. So you need to stay conscious. You need to stay conscious, and you need to engage with it without expectation. Just engage with it. And relax too. And what you're going to realize is, especially when it comes to things like trying to drop addictions and things like that, if that's the nature of the change that you're trying to do, you're going to realize the more you become conscious, the more you're going to see the gaps in energy that happen when you drop certain things. Addictions and habits like that, they're filling a certain place within your psyche, within your life or whatever. And when you remove them, that addiction desire is going to well up inside you. If you stay conscious and you say no, you're suddenly going to be filled with this higher level of energy, and you need to apply this energy into something else, bro. You can just start dancing. You can do whatever. You can get down and you can do push-ups, you can read, you can do something else that you think is like still in alignment with what you would like to do, but you need to redirect that energy somewhere else, because that energy wells up inside you and it wants to be expressed in this direction, but it doesn't have to be. So you can take that and you can express it in the other direction, and that'll work for you. And that works for me quite a lot, actually. So, but that consciousness aspect, that egolessness aspect, because you need to stay conscious. I really want to reiterate, like, I want to keep hammering down on this, because at the second you fall asleep, your unconscious programming is going to kick back up. You're going to go back to being who you were before. You need to stay conscious, and you need to watch, like, the things that pop up inside you. You need to be able to relax your body, because that tenseness is going to make it really hard to stay conscious and really hard to do anything that you want to do. So you need to be able to relax that. And then if you can redirect your thoughts, that'll help a lot. But the main cause of going unconscious is definitely that discomfort, because we don't know what to do in the face of discomfort. A lot of people feel uncomfortable and they instantly fall asleep. This is something that happened to me so much. So much, bro. That discomfort, especially for me, one thing that really was difficult for me was handling conflict, or like social situations that felt like a lot, like too much had going on. It's like instantly that discomfort would make it so that I started overanalyzing, and before I knew it, I was trapped in my head. Drop the ego, gang. You can't perform right now. You can't perform right now. Just relax into the moment. Relax, and at least do not let yourself fall into those thoughts. If you are relaxed and you are present, then the sort of thing sort of develops within you by itself. That's the interesting part about it. A lot of us, if you're like me at all, you overanalyze to the point where like you're trying to find the answer in the moment when you're supposed to be in the moment. That's counterintuitive and dumb as fuck. And what you'll realize is if you're a lot smarter than you give yourself conscious credit for. Your body is smart. Your subconscious is smart. Your conscious mind, all you need to do is point it in a direction and you'll start absorbing things even without consciously analyzing it. That's what you'll realize. But do not let yourself fall asleep. When that discomfort comes up, you need to be able to manage it. The main cause of going unconscious is discomfort. That's what it is. Do I have anything to say? What did I say? I said it's discomfort. Can't change because you keep going unconscious. That's the loop. You get discomfort, fall unconscious, you end up back where you were before. That was the next thing. This applies to addictions, habits, the things you want to do, things you don't want to do, whatever, character traits, all of that. That tension causes a resistance. That resistance leads to inaction. This is as far as like you wanting to do something versus you trying to not do something. Like if you want to do something, there might be like a resistance to engage. That resistance is most likely tension from feeling like it's too difficult, and it's also probably ego. It depends on what the thing is. Like if you want to clean your room, you're probably putting way too much pressure on cleaning the whole room, dog. Pick up one sock or something. Look at the thing. Can you look at the room? You know what I'm saying? Little shit like that, like Jordan Peterson be saying. But that tension causes that resistance, and that's how you end up not doing it. So that's as far as like shit like that. But as far as it feeling like too hard, you need to, again, it's like dropping the ego in the opposite way. It's like you need to drop the victim shit. You need to drop that. You need to be able to engage with what you have right in front of you without like stop all that. Oh, but I gotta gang. Engage with what's in front of you. This is what you want to do. Stop the bullshit, please. Engage with what's in front of you. Yeah. And in order to do all these things, bro, you need to remain conscious and you need to remain relaxed. You need to stay conscious so you can point your brain at what exactly you're trying to do. And you need to stay relaxed so that you can actually engage with it in a way that isn't fucking neurotic and weird, bro. So this is why you can't change, and this is how to change. This is how you can change if you do it properly. You're welcome.